All right. So, Paul, give me an example of your average agent doing an open house.
I mean, average agents throwing signs out probably either the day before, the morning of, balloons. I mean, really not doing as in depth as we do.
No, I'm not talking about what we do. I'm just saying the average agent, in your opinion, how do they
Yeah, I
get?
mean, they're probably throwing signs out Saturday morning, balloons out Sunday morning, and then throwing it up on Facebook, and that's it.
That's correct.
And
Now, like I said, I've been doing this since over 20 years, and we've had different markets. We've had buyer markets, we've had seller markets. Don't get me wrong. Today, if you went out to a high traffic street and you planted a sign in someone's yard and you were there for about 30 minutes taking pictures, or you're there for an open house, you're going to get a lot of activity. I don't care who you are, what type of agent you are. But in a buyer's market or in a different market, you're not going to get that. So yes, you can get lucky. And like I said, the average agent from when I was with Remax, my own company, Keller Williams, and watching other companies, they put it on there maybe as early as Friday, and they don't put the signs out. And then when you go into an open house, sometimes it's really nice. Like when you go into that $300,000 range, it's really nice. They have some food there. But if you're ever going into a Mayfair or a Holmesburg open house or a Pine Valley open house, it's basically black and white flyers and, some Wawa cheese and pepperoni kind of thing. So what I want to do is, Jack, since you're the newest one on here, before you got into real estate, before you were even thinking of real estate, do you know what an open house is?
Yeah.
Explain to me what you thought an open house was.
So from what I was told or what I saw, it was just kind of like someone had like a listing, usually like a single house or whatever, single family house, and usually pretty nice. And you would go there and just kind of show, I guess it would just be like you'd be in the house, and any neighbors that were nearby, anyone that wanted to just kind of stop and visit, they could come in and see, especially for like new construction. So like if there was new like developments in the area, they could come and see what's going on in the neighborhood.
I'm glad you brought that up because we're going to go back to that part about the new construction. So before you got into real estate, or you were thinking about have you ever, you personally, gone through an open house before?
Yeah.
Tell me your experience.
I mean, it was cool. I mean, like I said, the area was, it was a new developed, like set of 4 properties, I guess, in the area, West Philly, and they were all nice, extremely nice. And I mean, yeah, it was a cool experience. Everything was brand new construction. The agent, the agent was great. We he was kind of my buddy, so it wasn't like,
So
anything
you
weird,
were
but
there to support your friend.
yeah.
Okay, so you had an agenda. But what I'm getting at, has anyone gone to an open house strictly because of an advertisement or that you saw an open house?
I
No?
did.
You did. Okay, so tell me your experience.
It was going with my grandparents when they were going to buy their modular home in New Jersey. Theirs wasn't built yet, so they had the model that you went through to show you the layout and show you like the different kinds of cabinetry and like all the different features and amenities that you could have. And they had like, it was catering to older people, so they had like, cookies and stuff, things like that.
So the person who was doing the open house, you would say they were prepared and they were ready for targeted people that they were focusing on.
Yeah, it's an over 55 community. So it was definitely I forget the name of the person. Like, I'm just going to call them like the director of the community, whatever it's called. And
So-
like they were ready. Yeah.
Good.
Sorry,
So
I'm out of breath.
go back to your guy. You went out there because you're supporting your friend. Was your friend
Right.
prepared for the target people that he was looking for? Did he have his marketing? Did he have knowledge of the property? Did he have everything lined up?
I mean, yeah, I guess as far as I'm concerned, he did. I mean, like I said, we kind of talked about like what they were using in some of the properties. Just kind of like we were even talking about the neighbors because the neighbors were kind of upset by it. Yeah, I mean, I'd say he was pretty knowledgeable, but then again, I wasn't an active buyer, so.
So friendship aside,
Mhm,
with the knowledge that he was giving to the people that were coming in,
mhm.
did you see value? Did you see value in using that agent? If you didn't know him as a friend, would I use him as my agent down the line?
I mean, yeah, I think so. I mean, I feel like he's the first person you saw, right? So you can match a name to a property, and right away, probably just from that, and he kind of knows West Philly, like that's kind of his thing.
Great.
So, besides those properties in general, he could talk to you.
Oh, that's good. And Kelly, the
Yeah.
same thing with you, correct? We lost Kelly. All right. But what I'm getting at is that when you do these open houses, first impressions are everything. First impressions on the property, first impressions on you, how you're dressed, how you act, your knowledge is everything. Because what's the whole point of having an open house? And the answer is not selling this house. It's probably
Lead generating.
lead generating. Does anybody know 67% of the people come through an open house are who? Frank, who do you think they are?
Neighbors,
Neighbors. Are they buyers or are they sellers?
sellers. They're not going to buy their neighbor's house.
Not going to sell their house and move across the street. But they're looking to see, number one, top on their list, if I was to sell my house, is this the guy? Number two, yeah, maybe I want a family member in this area instead of a stranger. So you're not going to know until you are able to ask the right questions. Okay. So I think it was either Kelly or Jack, they mentioned on the new construction end of it. So like I said, I've been in business. One of the top lead generating sources for me at that time in the beginning was open houses. I was doing open houses all the time. And I was doing them the way I was taught. Put it on the MLS Saturday or Sunday right before, throw a couple signs out, throw a couple balloons, go get my cheese cracker tray and all that other good stuff and go to it. Sign-in sheet, didn't even know I needed one, but I got one. I photocopied some loose leaf, some old sign-in sheets, did everything half-assed. It wasn't until about 5 years later when I sold my very first new construction house with Ryan Homes. Met them, saw them, got a rapport. So I sold another unit in that area within that year. The following year, when they were developing another area, I sold another house in that area. Well, the director wound up reaching out to me and we basically had a sit down. I'm not going to get into the whole conversation, but what I'm getting at is they laughed at us as realtors in general on how we did open houses. And I'm like, well, what's so funny about it? It's like, dude, you put no effort into it whatsoever. He's like, do you realize during our open houses, we average 20 plus people per time we do it? I'm like, well, how often do you do open houses? Like, we do them every day. I'm like, what do you mean you do them every day? We have a model home. I have an agent sitting there from 10 to 4 every single day, and we average 20 plus leads. And it's no joke because fast forward, we were telemarketing for them for a while on past clients that came through. Dude, they had a laundry list of people that we were calling to see if they were still interested in new construction. But we also had a side game on that. We were looking to see if they had to sell a property or they were looking to still buy. So we had a different agenda for that. But what I was getting at is they were basically looking at our system and seeing flaws with it. So just like that for sale by owner script I gave you guys, acknowledge the for sale by owners wrong formula. Acknowledge it. 1 + 3 = 5. I totally get where you're going, but it's wrong. Here's step 2. This is where you're wrong. And that's what Ryan Homes is showing me. He's like, look, this is how we do our open houses. In case we do have some downtime, we have an agent here. They know our product in and out. They know cabinetry. They know the type of tiles that we have available. They know the styles, colonial, Victorian, whatever. They know everything about our stuff. They know everything about our mortgage company. They know everything about our title company. They know everything about our product. That's why these new construction people are not allowed to sell other people homes. They can only sell new construction. That's it, their product. They have to hire us to go sell their client's house so they can buy new construction. So long story short, I agreed to work with them, become a preferred agent. One of the things I had to do is travel and take a open house course with them. And let me tell you, there was a lot of information that goes into it. And I had to add in certain stuff. We're different industries. You know, I don't need to know about new construction, but I need to know about resale. I need to know about how to interview some of these properties. So when they do, even though they're doing open houses every single day, they're preparing for next week's open houses that week prior. And that's what we were doing up to a couple of years ago. We were doing mega open houses. Who's on here? Megan, let me ask you this question. On an average, how long have you had your license? About 3-4 years?
Yeah.
What's the average, and I want you to be honest with me, what's the average amount of hours that your typical agent will hold an open house for?
4, I believe.
4. Okay.
Yeah.
I think you're being generous. Usually it's like 2 or 3, but I have seen some 4s. Why would you only do it 4 hours?
Only 4?
Yeah.
I feel like that's a lot.
Oh, you think that's a lot? So if I can understand that. So if you put this on the MLS on Friday and just did a little bit of paperwork, I can see 4 hours being a lot. But Megan, let me ask you this question. Say you were researching this property and you were working on this open house from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. How long is your open house going to be?
I guess a lot more than that.
Well, yeah, and that seems to, like, I know when you said, I guess that seems to be a lot. I know what you're doing. You're saying, okay, wait a minute, if I'm putting that much time, it should be a lot longer. But here's the deal though. A lot of these agents, especially the interest,
Yeah.
the experienced ones.
How you doing, sir?
Chris, mute. Chris. Hold on. There you go. So what I'm trying to get at is that these agents are basically saying, you know what? If they don't want to come to my opening, this is my hours. They'll make the time. Frank, people that normally work Monday through Friday, do they have a different routine Monday through Friday than they do Saturday and Sundays? Your typical average family.
Absolutely.
Why is that?
Well, they drive the same route Monday through Friday through the neighborhood to work, all that stuff. Same shit every day. And on the weekends, they either don't leave the house or they got baseball, football, like sports, go to the supermarket, stuff like that.
Right. Now, I'm not talking everyone, but the majority of the people with Frank, it has 9 to 5 jobs. And when he said Monday through Friday, remember Friday, because that's when the directionals go out, and I'll explain why we're putting them out Friday and not Saturday or Sunday. But just like Frank said, on the weekends, people have different obligations. They have parties, they have athletics with the kids, they got to get stuff out there. Your average person who's going to an open house is usually getting an upgrade. And why? Because they have kids. They need bigger houses and they want to see what's out there. Okay. So our job is to capture them. Now, the important things to address, if you're going to have the open house on a Sunday, you have a lot of religious obligations, you have athletics going on, and you have people that go shopping. So placement of the signs is everything, because people drive different Monday through Friday than they do on the weekends. And just so happens, if you have an open house that's close to a place of worship, make sure there's a directional over there, because if all these people are dressed up and they're pulling in and they see an open house sign and they see that it's going to be from 10 to 4, they're not going to have to rush and get out of there. So if they have morning obligations, they'll be there in the afternoon. And then if they see that you're having a 10 to 4 and they have obligations in the afternoon, oh, wow, we can hit there first thing. All right. All right. So we're going to start off day by day by day, all the way up to the open house, okay? Monday is the day to interview your property, okay? Paul, how would I interview a property to see if I want to do it for an open house?
You're gonna go out to the property.
You're
First
going to
of
go
all,
out to the property. Why do you want to go out to the property? What am I looking for?
you want to see your product. I mean, you want to see if it's appealing. You want to, you don't want to. Yeah, it looks great on the outside, but the inside could be a complete, dump.
If I'm expecting 15 to 20 people to come through my open house and the house is vacant, what are the first things I'm thinking?
I mean, you're gonna need to figure out tables, some chairs for you to sit in, where you're gonna put your, all your information, things like that.
Sure, just like the military, I'm prioritizing everything. I'm staging everything. I'm basically saying, okay, this is where I come in and greet them. This is where they get the paperwork. This is where the food's going to be, sign-in sheet, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You're basically setting up a command station, but different areas. So what am I going to need? Do I need a sitting area over there? Is the kitchen big enough? Do I have plenty of counter space? Do I need an extra table? How about lighting? Let's say the lights are different wattage. Maybe I want to go to the store, grab a couple light bulbs that are all the same, unify it. First impressions are everything. So when they walk into the property, not only are they interviewing the property, but they're going to be interviewing you. Okay, so let's say the house is full. Let's say there's a family, a husband and wife, and there's a couple kids, and you see some things that are out of disarray. Kelly, what are some of the things that I would be maybe asking the seller to do or looking for?
Clutter, like make sure there's no clutter, make sure like if there's any pets that they'll be be able to be secured, or like can the neighbor take them or a family member take them, because it'd be better if there were no pets at all. And just make sure like for me, like key focuses of the house, like things that would really stand out, like it's a beautiful kitchen, make sure it's like really clean and tidy and all that stuff.
This is great. This is great. Now, let's say if it's not one of our listings, you guys know you have access to every single one of the listings in our office because under broker reciprocity, well, not, sorry, scratch that. Because Bob Roman is our OP, he is actually the broker of record. So he decides these are all his listings legally. So, but even if we use someone else's listing, of course, we're going to ask permission. We're going to reach out to Colleen. Hey, I saw you have a new listing. Do you mind if we do an open house? Sure, Mike. Of course, they might ask that any advertisement has to be approved through her and her seller. Hey, that's fine. But at the same time, I'm going through that house and I might come back with a list for Colleen. Colleen, hey, I just got back from 123 Main Street. Really, really nice property. But if we're going to do an open house, this is my request list of things that they can be done. If they can respond to me by tonight or tomorrow, I'll do the open house. If not, I'll find another one. So with that in mind, instead of interviewing one property, don't you think I should be interviewing 3? A couple of the things you also want to look for is days on market. That's the best property, something new. You don't have to really do a splash because the property coming on the market itself is a splash itself. But let's say you saw a listing there, but it's been on the market 30 days and there's no price drop. And after you doing your research on the property, you think it needs a 10,000 or maybe a 20,000 reduction. Hey, Frank, I saw your property in Jenkintown. I'm interested in doing an open house. I'm going to be doing a mega open house with the Mike Fitzpatrick team. We were looking at some numbers. I'm like, how do you feel about the price? And we're like, yeah, it's kind of overpriced. I'm like, okay, do you think you could talk to your seller? If we do a huge open house, would they be willing to bring the property down $10,000? You might be able to do that. A price reduction is another huge splash. So when you do an open house, you're not just doing an open house, you want to do a splash. So it's either a new listing, a price reduction, or something new about the property, you know? So once I established that, yes, this is my property, would I want to research the area? Why would I? Megan, can you answer that one?
Just so you're more knowledgeable, you know what you're talking about.
Knowledge about the area. So if somebody comes in, hey, Mike, what are the local pizza shops? What's this? Why should I buy in this area? Why is this area so hot compared to the other ones? That's a good one. How about you, Jack?
Like why wouldn't you need to know like stuff that's near the house?
Why would I want to know more about the neighborhood?
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, you maybe just because you can get an idea of like, well, maybe not so much price points, but I mean, it's just general knowledge. The more you,
Price point's
yeah,
huge.
that's good too. Okay.
Price point's a huge one because if your house is listed at 250, but the average house is selling for 260, there you go.
Mhm.
Or vice versa. Let's say the area is going for 250, but you're at 260. But then you can say, well, ours is the only one that has the addition that was done last year. Ours is the only one that has the in-ground pool. Ours is the only one that has a new HVAC and a new roof. You know, so these are things, but how can you determine that? Well, I research the area. Number one, I look at the solds. But another thing, when I want to look at, I want to go into public records. And I might want to research the next 100 to 200 homes in that area. How many houses have sold in this area? How many people have owned their house more than 10 years? Another reason why I want to do the research is because I want to collect those addresses so I can send out what?
So
Anybody?
like newsletters or just some, not newsletters, but like intro letters or
How
I
about
don't
an
know.
invitation?
Postcards.
How about an invitation to come on out and take a look at the property? And then when you put that invitation on there, put the 3 most important things, the selling features about the property. Come and check our new pool. Come and check our new, you know, HVAC system or whatever, finished basement, new addition, you know, whatever the selling points are. Have them come out, personally invite them. Frank, why would I want to invite a seller or a person in that neighborhood to my house?
Well, they could pick you to sell their house if they choose to move. They might have family members that want to buy the house. Just a whole pool of leads that could come from it.
Another thing, if, Jack brought up, hey, we'll send out a flyer or send out a letter. Well, what would I say in the letter? Hey, Mr. Seller, as you know, the Mike Fitzpatrick team has listed 123 Main Street. We're actually having a mega open house this Sunday from 10 to 4. We would like you to come out and take a look at the property. We understand that you're not going to sell your house and move across the street, but one of the things that we always come across that neighbors get mad at is that we sell to investors who put renters in. The reason why I'm inviting you out is because I want to see if any family members, coworkers, friends expressed interest about moving into your area. So maybe you can take a look at this house for them, or maybe invite them to the open house. By the way, the house will be catered. We will have food. That's a great letter. 2 paragraphs, boom, send it out there. What else do you think you can do? Why also am I researching that area? There's 2 things I'm looking for.
Because you want to know the inventory in the area, in case you
We already
have somebody
went over
that comes in.
We went over that. We were looking at price point. We were looking at the inventory. How about,
Not for price point.
oh, okay, I'm sorry. What for?
Because I mean, you might have a buyer that comes in unrepresented, comes into the open house. They don't like the open house, but they love the area. You want to know what inventory. So it's like, hey, look, I know this house doesn't meet your qualifications, but I got this one right down the street, same price. I get down here at 2. Can we meet there at 2:30?
That's a great one. That's a really good one. So 2 of the other ones where I focus on is this area door knockable. And if I do, and these are supplies that you're going to need to have, and we used to have on a regular basis. We used to have 5,000 door hangers, not just for each single open house. I mean, some of them are pre-printed, but the other ones were left open where we can handwrite stuff in there. But we always had our supplies. So when we did our door knocking, we had our supplies there. We invited people out to the open house. Another thing I want to look at, I want to show, I'm going to share my screen. I want someone to Google. So, one second here. So we're going to take a recent property that just went under contract by Megan. We didn't get a chance to do an open house on this property. Megan, what was that address again?
3027.
3027 Treemount, right?
Yeah.
Is that popping up? Yeah, there it goes. Perfect. All right. All right. So let's get out of this and. All right. So I'm pulling up the map here. Can anybody tell me why I would want to be looking at a Google map on Monday of the property?
And like what, because Google tells you the neighborhood it's in, like the area, like Oak Valley or Parkwood or
Sure, it gives you a better understanding of the area, but how about anybody else?
the school too. Sorry.
Schools.
Traffic patterns.
What's that?
Traffic patterns.
There you go, traffic pattern. Okay, so now you have to excuse me, I don't have my glasses. I'm looking at the high traffic streets. So just like a kid, when you had that maze craze game, you were trying to get from the outside to the inside, it's the same thing here. So Keller Williams actually did not come up with this. It was actually Weichert. Weichert had the formula of putting 2 balloons on a sign and having these signs basically direct everyone to the open house. So first I'm looking at, okay, there's Welsh Road or Willits Road. So if someone's traveling down Willits Road from, what's that? Anyway, you're looking for major streets. So if they're driving up and down Willits, I want them to come in here and also here. And I want them to know that the open house is going to go here to here. So this way I'm going to have 2 signs here, one across the street, one across the street, one here, one here, one here, one here, one here, one here. So that's 8 signs already. I still have another 8 signs to put out. So I might want to see, is there another high traffic street over here? Maybe this one. Do I have a lot of traffic coming down here or coming down here? And you're basically putting those signs out. So now I don't want to fast forward, but there's a reason for these signs. It's part of your lead generation. But for each sign that you have, you need 2 balloons out there. This is stupid, but we actually did one of these surveys. So when I was actively doing open houses from 2001 to 2005, of course, I got the sign-in book. And one of the questions on the sign-in book was, what made you come to the open house? What do you think at least 50% of the responses were?
I saw the balloons.
I saw the frickin' balloons. Yep, all that advertising I did, all that, but you know what? At the end, if I don't use everything, I'm gonna lose leads, so that's why I do everything. But 50% of them are saying because, hey, I saw the balloons. But I'm like, I can't count on that. I gotta do my marketing, I gotta do my advertising, I gotta do my prospecting. I want more people. So I guarantee you the neighborhood came over because of my invitation. But yes, that person who lives in Pine Valley, who lives in Mayfair, who lives in Parkwood, yeah, I didn't advertise to them unless they saw me on Facebook. They're the ones who saw the balloons. On Friday, how they were driving a different direction. And then on Saturday, maybe they're driving this direction and they'll see the balloons if they didn't see them on Friday. So that's the whole point of that. All right, so it's Monday night. I've decided what property I want. This is the property. This is my property, Tremont, all right? This is what I'm going to do for advertising. So the first person that you guys are going to call is Maria. Maria, we're going to be doing an open house from 10 to 4. And I need here's some pictures. We got them on the internet, or this is our listing. So go into Dropbox, get the video, whatever, do your thing. So she's going to create marketing for you, but she's going to need some information from you when you're doing your open house. What are the 3 most important things about the interior of the house that someone's going to look for when they buy? The exterior of the house. Give me the 3 most important things. She can't help you unless you give her the information. She is going to dial it up, you know, whether it's going to be a video or it's going to be a nice flyer. And she's also going to have your marketing materials for your door knocking or for when you are actually holding the open house. So this way there's flyers. It's about you. All right. So while this is going on Tuesday and Wednesday, what do you think you're getting ready for Thursday and Friday? You're working on it on Tuesday and Wednesday, but you're going to be implementing it Thursday and Friday. Anybody know?
Following up on the I guess mailers that you sent out.
Okay, well, she's preparing the mailers. That's good. So if you're sending out invitations, the invitations are getting drawn up, ready for Tuesday and Wednesday, and they're being sent out on Thursday. That's good. How about phone numbers? How about is Maria or Devin going into My Plus Leads, researching this area, drawing a grid from here to here to here to here to here? What would I want those numbers for, and what would I say on Thursday and Friday?
I mean, you already kind of touched on that script. If you're calling the neighborhood,
Same thing. You're either gearing up for door knocking or phone calls, and you have those numbers. Hey, Stan, this is Mike Fitzpatrick over at Keller Williams Real Estate. How you doing? Good. As you know, we have a for sale sign on 3027 Tremont, and we're having a mega open house this Sunday. Now that opens up, a lot of people don't know the word mega open house, so that might create another dialogue. So be prepared to explain why our mega open houses are different than everybody else and how much research that we do. But what I want to do is I want to invite you out there. Now I know, Steve, that you're not going to sell your property and move across the street, but I want you to come out and see how well we do the open house. But the most important thing is I don't want to sell this to an investor. I don't want to sell this to someone who's going to rent it out. I'd rather sell it to somebody that has expressed interest in buying in this area, whether it's a friend, family member, or coworker. Can I count on you coming out on Sunday at some time between 10 and 4? Mike, no, that's a bad day. I got baseball all day. I'm like, okay, great. If you ever want a private showing, here's my number. Or can I count on you to come out sometime between 10 and 4? Mike, I'll be there at 2 o'clock. Steve, I'll be looking forward to it. Please just come up to me. I'll have my name badge on, and I'll see you at 2 o'clock on Sunday. I'm reiterating what he just said. I'll be looking for him. You know, if he's willing to commit to my open house, I'm going to commit to a conversation with him. And these are phone calls that you can have, or these can be, hey, I'm Mike Fitzpatrick from Keller Williams Real Estate. As you probably know, you probably saw my sign when you were coming down the street. Yeah, we're actually having a mega open house this Sunday. I want to personally invite you out from 10 on. It's going to be held from 10 to 4 on Sunday. Can I count on you showing up? Mike, I probably won't get there at 3 o'clock. That's fine. Just look for me. Let me know that you're there. And I hope to see you. And I like to show you how we have an open house. By having these door knocking face to face, you might get a better feeling from them if they are thinking of selling within now or the next 5 years compared to a phone call. Phone call, there's no face to face. But when people are face to face, you tend to get more information. You tend to see their composure and maybe get a hint that, hey, they might be looking to sell. Okay. All right. So you're doing all this work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. You're making these calls. But Megan, let's say this is your listing, right? And this is an older home that's probably been on the market maybe 15, maybe 30 days. What would be a good splash if if your seller is not willing to do a price drop?
That bonus thing that we did last year.
That what?
That bonus that we did last year for the other agent.
Bonus thing. I like that. So the bonus is where we either have the listing, or Giovanni let us do this on 2 of his listings 2 years ago. I think Ken and Paul were running the open houses. And they basically said that, hey, if we get a full price offer, we're going to give you a $2,000 selling bonus. But if we get it under contract, it's going to be a $1,000 selling bonus. Devin and Maria can look up we only want the buyer's agent. We don't care about the listing agent. We want who sold in that area in the last 6 months, the buyer's agent, and then we have a script for them. We create a PDF of the flyer with the bonuses on there, send them out by email, and then the agent calls them the next day. Ring, ring. I'm calling you, Jack.
Well,
Hey, Jack, this is Mike Fitzpatrick over at Keller Williams Real Estate. I saw that you sold the property on 123 Main Street last month. Congratulations.
oh, thanks.
The reason I do that is because when was the last time your broker congratulated you on a recent settlement? Let alone me, I'm calling from a competitor's office and congratulating you. So that's why we do that, number one. We kind of catch them off guard. Yes, the reason I'm calling, Jack, is because as I said before, you sold that property on Main Street. I just wanted to see if you still have buyers looking in the area.
Yeah, I have a few, just kind of, a little bit on, this area, but all around the same area.
Awesome, great. Did you get the PDF of our new listing that I just sent you?
No, I have not.
Okay, please check your email only because there's a selling bonus on there and it's right around the same area you just sold Main Street. It's a great property, but the reason I'm calling you is because there's a selling bonus on there just for the agents that I'm talking to. This bonus is not in the MLS, so if you decide to present an offer, you need to present the flyer. If we get full price offer, you get a $2,000 selling bonus, and if it's an accepted offer under asking, it's $1,000. But like I said, it's only for the people that I'm calling today. So if you do have any buyers looking in the area, please review the flyer. And if you have any questions, please come on out.
Oh, yeah, that'd be perfect, Mike. Is this the best number to reach at?
This is the best number to reach. And also, you said you were working with some buyers in the area. Would you be up for a cup of coffee maybe tomorrow morning just to talk about maybe looking at a different business plan?
Yeah, man, that'd be great.
Awesome. How about 8 o'clock in front by Antonio's?
All right, sounds good.
So I just killed two birds with one stone. I promoted my three really. I promoted my open house, giving this guy a referral, and now I'm trying to improve my downline, increase my downline. So it all depends on the scripts. What's the worst that can happen? You sweat a little bit. They say no. Okay, move on. Move on to the next call. All right. So how we doing on time real quick? Okay, perfect. We still got 20 minutes. We could probably actually finish this up. So here comes Saturday. Maria's got everything printed. You already had the mailers go out. You did your phone calls. You're projecting 10, 15 people definitely coming out. You're confident that 10 people will be coming out. Can't wait. What am I doing Friday around 12 or 1 o'clock?
I was gonna say, would that be like maybe some setup? Maybe just trying to make sure. Well, I don't know. I'm just trying to like you're kind of envisioning what tomorrow will look like. So
Well,
you're
Friday. We're still Friday.
yeah, yeah.
Paul,
Right.
what,
So maybe. Yeah.
Go ahead, Jack. I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off.
no. That's all. That's all I was saying. You're good.
what am I doing?
Friday, you're going to put directionals out so you can catch people coming home from work.
Okay. So am I putting them on the corner?
Well, yeah, I mean, you're putting them on a corner, but you're also going to be knocking on the people's doors, asking if you can, you're good to place the signs there, but you're also striking up that conversation with them, letting them briefly know about, what it is actually for.
Why am I knocking on their door if I'm putting it on the corner?
Because people, I mean, I don't know about you, but somebody puts a sign in in front of my house, it's, and I don't know what it's for. Kind of raise a little question. 9 times out of 10, it's getting ripped out.
Pissed off people. The sign says open house or go this way.
Yeah.
People get pissed off. And if you're familiar with the Philadelphia area, some areas in Jersey, some areas in Bucks County and Montgomery County are different, but you have a sidewalk and then you have the owner's lawn and then you have that little patch before you get to the street. So a lot of agents feel safer because they're secret agents. They don't want anybody to know that they're in real estate. They put their signs there. But what I'm talking about is I want to put the sign on the person's property. So Frank, ring, ring, or knock, knock.
Going on.
Hey, Frank, my name is Mike Fitzpatrick. I'm with Keller Williams, as you can see. As you know, we are listing a house down the street. We're actually preparing for an open house. And what I like to do is, with your permission, of course, can I put a directional today on your property? Usually when we put them on the corners, a lot of people get pissed off or they knock our signs down or pop our balloons. But if I put it on your property, I know it's going to be safe. And I promise the open house is going to end at 4 o'clock on Sunday. So it'll be off your lawn by 4:30. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Go for it.
Dude,
As long as it's off my lawn at 4:30.
No, it will. And I'm going to have a little something for you afterwards to show my appreciation. I really mean that. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you.
But let's say Frank was negative and he didn't want it. Well, I got 3 other corners I can go to. So I get to choose which two get my sign, you know? So, and that's what you're doing. So, but let's fast forward a little bit. And the reason why I want to do this, I'm picking up the signs now at 4:30. What am I doing, Frank?
Going, knocking on their door again, giving them a $5 Wawa gift card and taking your sign.
And
Saying
thank you
thank
very
you.
much. There you go. Lead generation. And then they know you. And if you strike up that conversation, guess where they go? They go in your pipeline or they go in your database. Because your conversation is going to be what? Real estate focused. You're going to direct it. Doesn't matter where it goes, whether they're complaining about their neighbors, whether they're complaining about the politicians, whether they're complaining about their backyard. You're going to divert that conversation and to find out if they are thinking of selling, whether it's now or in the next 5 years. Okay, so we're still on Friday. We got the directionals out. We got our 16 directionals. Are we putting out the balloons yet? Oh, hell no. They'll just deflate. No, we ain't doing that yet. Just the directionals. That's the directions. All right. So you come back to the office. It's after 5 o'clock. Or you come in on Saturday and Maria's got all the stuff ready for you. She's got all your giveaways that the mortgage company wants to give. She's got your sign-in book. She's got your marketing material. So besides the marketing material, because you want them to leave with something of value about the property so they don't forget it. So besides business cards, what are some of the other good things that you should have at an open house? Crickets. How about closing cost sheets? Do you think that's important?
I thought that was included in your informational sheets that you were talking about.
I just said flyers.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, you're gonna have closing costs for the property, not just FHA, but you want to do conventional too. Very generic one, you know, kind of middle of the road for both of them. So that way people kind of have a general idea as to which one. You're gonna have flyers about the team, you know, what we have to offer, business cards, bottles of water, you know, just things that they could take with them that will, you know, make the rest of the day comfortable if they're still going to their open houses. But they're still going to remember because, you know, everybody remembers where they got a bottle of water from when it's hot as hell out. Well,
How about
yeah,
selling?
seller's disclosure, but you don't want
Want
them
a flip
to.
chart?
Yeah, you don't want them to take the seller's
You don't
disclosure.
want to take it.
If they want a copy of it, that's when you're able to test if they told the truth or not.
How about have a chance for giveaways? Sign in, guess the price that this property sells at. Put your name here. We're doing giveaways on sweatshirts. We're doing giveaways on cutting boards, or the mortgage company is giving you an allowance of $200 and you're giving away gift cards for restaurants. So the whole purpose when they come in, you want to make sure they fill in that sign-in sheet. Name, address, email, phone number. Now, you're not going to get it all the time, but if you can just get at least one contact information, I'm going to give you a script on how to get the missing information. Okay, so we got seller's disclosure, we got closing cost sheet, we got your flyer about the team, we got the flyer about the property so this way they can take it away. We have giveaways like calendars, eagle magnets. Okay, great. We got all this stuff here. What else are we missing? How about this is a first-time home buyer house? You're talking to your mortgage company because you're your preferred vendor. What are first-time home buyers looking at today, Deanne? What are first-time home buyers looking at today, Brian? Well, you know, there is a $10,000 credit in your area. Wait, what? $10,000? Well, I think that's kind of important. Where's that flyer? Let's get that flyer out there. Why don't we put that, get a text writer and get a sign from the mortgage company? $10,000 grant, put that right on the property. Anything that strikes the conversation up. This way you'll have that tool. So this way when they come in there. All right, I got all my stuff. All right, so now it's Saturday, you got everything together, you're game planning. Are you role playing? Now, of course, Saturday night, no, nobody's role playing, but the good agents are. The ones that want to get prepared for this. Just like Kelly, I know you're into acting right now. When you, and please, I know nothing about what you're doing. I'm just taking a stab at this. But when you get to your class, right, Do you just go into acting, or are you actually preparing for this before you get there, mindset wise, or what you're going to say? Are you going to go over your lines? Do you have homework that you have to pregame for before you start at 9 or 10 that day?
Yeah, I have a whole script I have to learn. I have exercises that I was taught to do before I even walk into the classroom.
Exercises. Give me one of them.
You have to sit in a chair and you have to literally remove all the tension from your body by screaming and breathing and shaking out tension in your muscles and moving your face in all kinds of awkward looking, funny looking positions. And it's to clear your mindset, to have an emotional connection with your mind, like kind of get rid of all the crap that went on in your day that's not important in that moment.
I know he recorded that, but you guys should be doing that every time before you lead generate. Clear everything out. There's nothing more important than what I'm about to do. And that's exactly what you should be doing before the open house, before you role play. Go over your scripts. There's nothing that should be more important than what you're doing, because not only are you making a commission for yourself, that's second, but you want to be the best agent for every single person that comes through that open house. If you only have one chance to sell that person, whether they have an agent or not, whether they can buy now or in 6 months from now, you have one chance of making a great impression. Did you prepare for it? Average agent doesn't. They're not ready. They don't have to work with me. If you have that attitude, that's the results you're going to get. But if you have the attitude of an Ed Fordyce, of a Mike McCann, pick someone that you've known for 10 years, that you've never seen them curse, that you've always seen them positive, that sometimes you just want to punch. It's like, don't you ever have a bad day? You know, they're always just so happy. You know, are you going to be like that during that open house? Are you going to be full of energy? Are you going to be capturing everyone's attention that comes through? Are you going to be that type of person? And that's what you're doing for Saturday. And it doesn't take 8 hours. It doesn't take 6 hours. You can do it the night before. You can do it that night. You can do it that morning. Do it as an exercise. Now, your open house is from 10 to 4. I do not expect you to do this on your own. Never. You have team members. You have support staff. You have people that are helping you. Yes, you should be there from 10 to 4. Can I have another agent there? Sure, you can split the leads, because you're probably going to get 20 plus leads. If it's a great open house and you did it the right way, you can just split them. Can I have a mortgage company there? Sure you can. Why would they be there? They're probably paying for most of it. We're also going to have it catered. Well, who's going to pick up the food? Food will be delivered. How about the supplies, the paper, the plates and all that? All be there. Am I going to have help setting it up? I want you dressed nice. We can have somebody put out the balloons in the morning and stuff like that. But I want you to be able to get there and take that directional off and knock on that door. So there's going to be some things that you have to do. Can I split the open house? I'll do 10 to 2 and the other person do 2 to 4, whatever you work out. But when you're there, you have to give it 100%. All right. I am going to stop there. Tomorrow, we're going to go over actually holding the open house, what to say, role playing. All right. We got 8 minutes. So if there's any questions, any feedback on this class, let's hear it. Time's yours.
I got a quick one.
Go for it.
So I know for the open house, one of the issues always come about in the morning is running to the office to like do the balloons. Like I know we always had the little propane tank. If we're going to start doing a lot of open houses, we make sure we have them in stock. That saves an hour round trip for some of the agents, depending on the location of the property.
So that's a great question. So yes, you're not going to have to do the open house balloons. We actually are going to be bringing back a service. It's through Airgas. So Airgas is going to charge us to put the balloons out there if we need them. But we have two, I guess they're called air tanks. There's air tanks downstairs. We will take care of that. I do not want you filling up balloons. We will have somebody here putting the balloons out there, and they'll probably go out anywhere from 7 in the morning to as late as 9 o'clock in the morning. We also have a contract with Party City. So with these balloons that we get from our office, they have usually a turnaround time of 12 to 24 hours. But when we use the companies like Airgas or Party City, there's a little bit of a chemical that keeps these balloons going for 24 to 48 hours. So we're not going to put them out there that long, but they may be ready for us to be picked up either the night before and we'll have it delivered, or we can pick it up that day of this open house and put them out there if they open up at 9 o'clock. But we want the balloons out ahead of time. So balloons will be taken care of. You will be responsible for coming in Saturday to pick up your materials unless there's an issue and you have to get with your contact person. If we can have someone deliver that stuff there, but we can have that arranged for you too. We are going to have the open houses catered too. Now, usually we use local companies, so we will assign someone picking something up, or we might ask you to pick something up on the way in. It'll be a two-way street. I'm not going to have you go out of your way, basically.
Cool.
Any other questions? That was a good question, Ken. Nothing?
Yeah, I was just gonna say too, like the season. I mean, yeah, I mean, this is probably the best time to even do them because no one's gonna want to do it in 30-degree weather when the
Why
winter
not?
comes.
Why not?
I don't know. People aren't just really walking around, you know. It's just like a nice summer day. It's, you know.
I don't need them walking around. I need them driving around.
Yeah, it's
I think
true.
Christmas time's a good time because people are out driving around looking at Christmas lights and stuff. Like they're
That's a good
already
point.
out. I think.
And I can get
Yeah,
some
I just can't
free
think of a
hot
time I
chocolate.
was like,
Free
yeah,
hot
that's true.
coffee muffins. Come on out. Now I know
That makes
this one.
sense. That's true.
There's this one lady. Her name is Peggy House. She used to work with Remax with me over at Beth Ayres, and she only worked on the weekend. She only did open houses, and this was back in 2002, 2003, 2004, and religiously, she made six figures every single year. That's all she did was open houses. That's it.
I believe it.
Do them the right way, especially if you create your own farm area and you just, take that area, or in general, just be the open house person. Like if you're not that person who's going to get on the phone, I mean, unless you can hire someone to make those calls, but if you like to door knock instead, that's fine. But this is the best. I mean, you could ask any successful agent, they will never discount open houses. Never. That's probably one of their top 3 lead sources, excluding databases. But I hate to tell you, when you do your open house, you're actually adding to your database. So this is open houses are huge ones. Now you get some pros and cons. Paul, give me a con of doing an open house.
But nobody show up.
Well, whose fault is that?
Yours, you didn't pick the right property.
You didn't call the right you didn't call the right people. You didn't pick the right property. Am I selling a mint condition Babe Ruth rookie card, or am I selling a, I don't know, rolled up, I don't know, Dwight Gooden bum card, It all depends on your presentation. It all depends on what you're selling, Am I selling? And that's the whole point of interviewing your property on Monday. Is this going to give me the splash? Is this going to give me my results? So that should never be a con. A con, some people would say that, hey, these people that come through this open house are unqualified. How do you know they're unqualified until you talk to them? Oh, guess what? While you're talking to them, maybe see if they are going to get qualified, and maybe they get qualified with you. I would rather talk to people that are not qualified and don't have a real estate agent instead of people coming through my house with a real estate agent. I already have a plan for the people that have a real estate agent. What's my plan for them? It's on the MLS. It's on Showing Time. Don't bother me unless you don't like your agent, then interview me. But I want the people that don't have a real estate agent, that are not pre-approved going through the open house, because this is now I get my pick of the litter. I get to see which ones I want to work with. Any other cons about doing an open house?
You might miss a little bit of football, not gonna lie.
Put it on the TV.
Just
Turn the TV off.
Just gotta get
It's
on your
generally a
phone.
big hit.
Get
too.
some, yeah.
2 ways of getting someone to stay in your open house. Number 1 is to put the TV on and put a sporting event on. You'll talk to that guy during the game. Number 2, home cooked meals. Instead of having hoagie trays, have messy meals, have ribs, have chicken. Guess what they're going to do? They're not going to walk around with the food. They're going to sit down at the table. And if they sit down at the table, guess what they want to do? Have a conversation. You ain't going anywhere.
It's true.
Give me another con.
Mm,
Can't think of it anymore, can you?
Not really.
All right, that's all I have. So if there's no cons, everybody should be doing open houses, but do them the right way. All right, so we'll pick this up tomorrow. I'll send out a time. And I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, yo, Mike.
Sounds good.
I think you need to send me an email again on those houses. I don't know. I didn't see one
What do you mean?
with the thing
I
with
sent you
Dominic.
the text. I didn't send you the house.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Yep, sounds good, man.
All right, the database, dude. There's my database.
All right. I'll send it over.
All right, bye.
All right, see you.
See you guys.
Let me know when you guys are here.